Hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm Julie Tam, managing broker of LYN Realty, and welcome to Smarter Real Estate here in Houston, weekly on Wednesdays, where I take you on my real estate adventures and arm you with practical strategies to be a smarter buyer, seller, tenant, or landlord. This is my special series, Building My Dream Home. And as you can tell, we are in that very home under construction. And today we're going to go into detail about all things having to do with the interior trim. That includes everything from stair parts to frames around the windows and doors to baseboards to built-ins in the closets, literally dream closets we're talking about that we are so excited to use. And so I'm going to take you along, give you lots of tips so that when you are doing your remodeling project, whether big or small, or building a new house, there are so many things you can think about and take away from this video. All right, so first we're going to start with the front door. Aha, it's a little bit of a different look, but it's not the actual front door. They've just boarded it up for security now that there's things inside the home that are being installed. And I'm going to take you through each room of the home, starting with the study. So we have here double French glass doors, and you can see they install it raw wood and they will be painting it. Everything is already done in terms of the trim work. The prep has happened, and they'll be starting the painting next. Okay, as you can see, obviously in previous videos, the sheetrock was already up. You can see where the baseboards are in. Some of them are already, you can see the white over them, but of course that's not the final, that's not even the paint. Though the paint color will be a shade of white, so you can kind of get a sense of what the home will look like. And you can see the detail of the framing around the window. Nice straight edges, not rounded at all. This whole home is very much straight edges, and you can see this beautiful detail work of this extra piece, again, with a straight edge. And then the windows, well, actually, we just saw that window. This window, same idea, the whole frame all the way around, as you can see. And now I will take you into the closet for a look. So you can see the door installed. They've put in these paint grade hinges because they'll be painting them the same shade of white as the door. Basically, the whole house will be the same shade of white. The walls, ceilings, the trim, doors, everything, okay? And you can see the style of door. Very sleek, single panel, rectangular door. So nothing crazy, no molding, no extra layers, because it's going to be a transitional / modern style home. Okay, so coming here to our study closet, you can see how there are these built-ins with nice deep and wide shelves all the way to the ceiling for maximum storage. And then here, another set of L-shaped shelves going up to the ceiling. One thing to note is we purposely started the bottom shelf 36 inches above the floor because we want to be able to store larger objects, okay, like on the floor, because larger objects can be heavier, bulkier, a little bit harder to handle. You don't want to put those up higher. You want them to just sit on the floor, big pieces of equipment and things like that. So that way you can access them more easily. And because they are taller, then you can fit them. And then smaller objects will go on the shelves with the ones that need to be accessed the least frequently, up near the top. So this really maximizes the amount of space in here, which is great. All right, so let us continue on into the foyer. We're going to cross to the other side of the home. We are still recording, right? I just heard a beep in my ear, so I was just a little concerned. Okay, this is the formal dining. You've probably seen, if you watched the past episode, the egg crate, also called coffered ceiling or box beam ceiling. You can see along the edges that metal trim, and I'll show you actually lower at my level so you can see even more clearly the corners here. They are not rounded. Okay, in our current home, we have rounded corners. It's a Mediterranean style home, but this is a little bit more modern. So we have straight 90-degree corners, and that's the way it is for the whole home. The way the texture will be on the walls is as smooth as possible. Obviously, the old popcorn ceiling, popcorn texture wall is totally out. And then even before that kind of textured, like this type of texture to hide the imperfections, is a little bit dated as well and more reserved for less expensive homes. But on the luxury level, you want to really show that the paint job is, flawless and very smooth. And so having that very smooth texture is the way to go. We are now in the butler's pantry / wet bar. So on the butler's pantry side, of course, you can see all of the pre-wire that was behind the sheetrock here sticking through, and the cabinets will be going in after the painting is done. Over on the wet bar side, you can see right here where the window ledge is and how it's going to drop down to the countertop level. Not much trim in here to take a look at, But come into the kitchen with me. Oh, I did want to point out the baseboards, as you can see far beyond me at the breakfast or even here. They are 10-inch high baseboards on the first floor and then 8 inches high on the second floor. Some people will go as high as 12 inches on the first floor. That's really dramatic and tall. I kind of feel like that puts too much attention on the baseboards. I'd rather look at artwork on the wall, other decor, and things like that, not the baseboard. So I feel like personally, 10 inches is plenty big for a little bit of drama and that really nice high-end finish, but it really doesn't need to be taller than that, in my opinion, for my home. If you live in a different style home, then maybe you do something different. Okay, here is the pantry. All right, so you can see, actually, I should point out the door frame, right? We looked at the window frames. The door frames are very similar. So just, again, a very clean, lines, straight look. All right, the pantry, we have these boxes, okay, where they put in, so this is a higher end look. Instead of just shelves all the way around, you actually have boxes where you would put the shelves in. They haven't installed the shelves yet. They're in fact stacked there at the bottom, but you can see how there are these holes and they're gonna be adjustable shelves. So they'll put in the little, tabs or whatever you call them, and then we can actually adjust the shelves to the height that works for what we are going to be storing in here. More shelves stacked here. The guys, they write all sorts of notes on the walls that will be painted over, but that just tells them what they need to do. And this door, of course, is already a shade of white, and they just will be painting it to the exact shade of white that we need. Okay, so taking a look at the living room behind me, you can see this, the both sides of the fireplace really taking shape. Okay, so you can see on both sides, they've got the cabinets installed. They'll be putting the doors here. There will be shelves inside. You can see parts kind of lying around. The carpentry work is just almost done. And then these are the nice, thick, stain grade shelves. These are more expensive than paint grade because paint grade means you can just paint over it. We actually want this wood stained to match the wood floors on the stairs as well. And so that's what we will be getting here. So that will make it look really nice. Another thing is right here on the fireplace, you can see the sheetrock work here. You've got this corner and another corner going back here. We will most likely be putting tile, a nice casing in tile from floor to ceiling in front of the fireplace, which will be a nice dramatic look, very popular today for modern homes. All right, we'll step into the powder room where I will mention that at this stage, we actually have to decide which walls to put the wallpaper. We may end up wrapping it, meaning that all walls, baseboard up to the ceiling. They want to know that before they paint so that they won't texture the walls and put the plaster on there, because otherwise they'll have to sand it all down before they put wallpaper. And so that's why we have to decide which wall, so that they'll just leave it untextured, just flat, so that the wallpaper can be applied easily. I think I said the word plaster. I don't know if that's actually the right term. I think it's just more the texture. Anyway, all right, let's go over here to the mudroom. I'm really excited about the built-ins in here. Oh gosh, this is just an awesome mudroom. Ta-da! So look at this. All right, so when we come in from the garage through this door, we're going to be basically kind of like, landing here, sitting down on this bench, which will have a cushion along it, along the entire width probably, and be able to take our shoes off. This will all be shoe storage. Okay, so as you can see, again, holes for adjustable shelves. So we can have some shelves that are higher for taller boots, for example, but some shelves will have short shoes, so we won't need as much height. So we can adjust that accordingly, which is a good thing, because if you think about it, imagine if you make all the shelves super high, like say 14 inches high, right? Because you've got these tall boots or whatever, and then they're all like that. Well, all of a sudden you only have a few shelves, and then pretty soon you can't reach anymore, right? So you probably want to have short shelves, short shelves, short shelves, so you can store more shelves, several shelves of shoes, and then have a nice tall shelf up here where you can have boots, and all you need to be able to do is grab the very bottom and pull the boot off the shelf, and then you're good to go. So lots of shoe storage, much more space than we actually need. We don't even have this many shoes, but maybe we can have another kid so we can fill it up with more shoes. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, so before we look at this side, I'll step into the mudroom closet. Of course, there's no electricity on in the home right now, no light, so it's a little bit dark. But again, this is just a wonderful space. So there's actually 3 walls of built-in shelves, okay? So the bottom is, again, 36 inches off the floor. Same idea. We're likely going to be putting, holiday seasonal items in here, decor, maybe large like recreational type stuff, to go outside and play. And so those big items can sit on the floor. They may be heavy, they may be not, but nonetheless, they'll be, taller. And then of course, shelves to organize, we can have maybe like Christmas decor on one side, other, random things on, and just be able to just organize really nicely. I'm a very organized, meticulous kind of person. So this is just a dream for me. Here we'll sit our chest freezer. We needed to make sure there was clearance for it to open, nothing above right now. We could eventually, if we feel the need to, add additional like hook or whatever, or maybe just put a piece of art up here on the wall. But these are cubbies down below where we can put, just whatever we need, right? Just any sort of like dirty equipment or extra shoes or whatever. And then here we'll have hooks, probably like 3 of them, and be able to hang, backpacks and purses, whatever we might want to put up their jacket, umbrella. And then these will be drawers. As you can see, the tracks are installed already. And then just open cubbies up there and up on the top as well, just to put extra things, like bike helmets and I don't know, a basketball, whatever toys and things we might want to take out with us to play. This is a little niche that we can use to perhaps relax. Not sure what we'll put here yet. You got to also be cognizant about where the door swings, right? So we want the door to swing out of the way, as if you are coming to go, into the mudroom, or if you're coming out, that the door swings away. So obviously you can't really put a big piece of furniture here because it would get hit by the door, all right? So unless we have a door stop where the door doesn't open all the way, maybe just like to here, for example, the carpenter's really good about figuring that kind of thing out. And so, yeah, but we might put just a little chair or something just to be able to like look out the window and relax. And like Sakib says, drink a cup of coffee and read a book. Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at what he's calling our Harry Potter room. See, this door is like my size. Look at that. Okay, so here we have an under the stairs storage closet. Okay, it's pretty useful because you can put things back there and there's still a good amount of storage. We can have, hooks on the wall here if we decide to do that. Have this kind of be like a coat closet for when guests come over, when they come through the front door, then they can, hang their coat in that closet. These are just kind of things that we're thinking of, not necessarily a for sure kind of thing. All right, I'm going to take you upstairs now. So they've already installed the newell posts. We have these along the stairs. We chose this design because we thought, it still goes along with the very square look in our home, but this gets a little bit transitional, brings a little bit of the traditional look to it, but just a tiny little bit, not too much, and it gives it just enough style. We did not like the plain newell post, which would not have these 2 pieces. It would just be a plain cap. Just thought that was really boring because actually there's no embellishment at all. It's literally like boom, boom, just straight down, just like a big block. Don't like that look. Ultra, modern, contemporary, some people may like it, not for us. So this just gives it a little bit more design. The handrail as well, if you see the detail here, it feels comfortable to grab onto, and then it has this nice, again, just it comes down inside just a little bit, matches the newell post really nicely. But for the balusters, these spindles, the black iron, we went with plain square all the way up. Originally, we thought we would do maybe every 2, 3, or 4 plain spindles, we would do like a decorative one, like maybe a rectangular or something. But then we ultimately thought, you know what? This is a really clean look, really pretty, and it reminds me of a harp. Like you could just imagine like, I don't know how to play the harp, but it's just, yeah, we're both musical. I'm a classical soprano singer. My husband's a saxophonist where he also plays piano. I play very mediocre piano, so I don't consider myself a pianist at all, but it's just a really beautiful, clean, classical look. And if you just kind of spin around and do a 360, you've got it on the stairs, you've got it up there, along the railing, and then also the balcony at the front of the room. So it's just a really nice look that's very uniform throughout. And yeah, so we really love how this has turned out. Okay, and then if you look at the stairs, so what's interesting is, see how these 2 triangular shaped steps, they have the plywood there. they will be installing the same type of wood as what will be the wood floors throughout most of the home for the entire first floor, in fact. And so that's going to be there. However, each stair step that's rectangular, those treads, right now they have this piece of just kind of like a plywood, just kind of for protection so that people aren't just stepping and scratching up and denting the treads too much. But these treads are actually solid oak, red oak wood. And so it's solid hardwood, and they will be staining this to match the color of the wood floors throughout the rest of the house. And of course, to match those two big triangular pieces on this landing, this L-shaped stair landing as we're turning here. And then the risers, which are the white parts, they will be painted. Same color white as the rest of the home, which actually is going to be Sherwin-Williams Snowbound. Okay. So as we come upstairs, I'm going to save the primary suite, aka the master suite, for last, because the closet is fabulous. And so we're going to save that treat for last. So for now, we'll come and take a look at the rest of the home. I just want you to see the view from here. So things like this are details captured in a floor plan and architecture and home design that sometimes people don't think about, especially if you're not experienced. This is the kind of look that just makes me so happy. It keeps the home very connected. It's open. Like I can see from here straight across to the balcony and vice versa. If you're standing over on the balcony or where I am, you look down, you can see the first floor, the foyer. You know, when we walk through the balcony, I'll show you what you can see from there. So you just feel very connected between the first and second floor. The problem with homes like this inside the 610 loop in Houston, where the lots are expensive and you can't really build a home that is too sprawling, otherwise it gets extremely costly. I mean, this is pretty sprawling, but the point is that a lot of times the homes are stacked 2 levels. So if you want to maximize your square footage, like we've got about 4,500 square feet in here. If you wanted to make the house even bigger, right, say, I don't know, 4,800 square feet, you wouldn't be able to have this open area. You would max it out by closing this off and keeping all this, open space that you see on the second floor as actual square footage. You would have flooring. This would be part of the hallway. You would extend the rooms bigger, and all of that. But we didn't want to do that and make the home even bigger at the expense of the aesthetics and the connection between the first and second floor. So this is how we've left it, and we just love the finished product. Okay, let's swing over here to, oh, you know what? Before we do that, I do want to show you the curb. Oh, this also turned out really nice. This detail, this is what's called a curb. You see this extra wood framing up here that's white right now, this wood that's going to be stained all around here. It's matched the other side, the balcony over there. And the original idea was to have this so that if our son is pushing around little tiny cars like Hot Wheels, that he won't just roll them off the edge of the second floor and, off the ledge and onto the first floor, right? And hit somebody or something, or chip the wood floors, break the toy, whatever it might be. This kind of helps him, prevent that from happening because we've got a few inches to work with, more than what you would normally have, so he can roll around. Now, do keep in mind, they're going to install wood floors here, so it's not going to be this flat. You're going to have, I don't know, maybe like another, probably no more than an inch. So there's still a couple inches or a few inches at least of this curb to work with, but we really like the way the look is. It looks very finished. It looks very elegant. It looks elevated. It doesn't just look like a plain old staircase that they just threw down and, because it's an extra detail that they've added, this extra curb that's elevated, literally elevated, and the style is elevated too. Okay, coming around here, this is the game room. So we have measured, and the ceilings are, that sun is bright coming through the window, 13 feet and a little bit more tall, which is incredible, and it echoes in here. Nice beam going across, and you can see, again, just nice trim around the windows. Nice detail, very elegant looking. Okay, and let's go to the AV closet. There's no built-ins in here because the AV company is going to install a metal black rack, as they call it, which is basically kind of like a cart. If you've ever seen like a control room of a TV station, not sure why you would, but obviously in my previous career I have. But it's, just a big, metal stand, kind of like a big cart type thing where you would put in equipment like DVD players and, things like that. Okay, here is another fabulous closet full of custom built-ins right off the hallway. You've got shelving unit here and also behind the door. So if you could just kind of sneak around here, you'll be able to see it. There will be a door stop to make sure this door does not hit the shelves behind the door. But again, so much nice storage on those shelves, and even at the very top above and on that very top shelf. And of course, we have hanging rods, so that way we've got the flexibility of being able to long hang and short hang clothes here. And the laundry room is dusty, you know, that's why I keep going like this. We are having, of course, cabinetry here with a sink. We've actually added an extra cabinet here to the left of the window that wasn't originally on the plan, because we decided, you know what, it'd be good to have a little bit of extra cabinetry, especially like laundry detergent and chemicals that would be out of the reach of kids, even though you could lock them up, you know, do a child lock at the bottom, but this is just better up here. So we're going to have that. And then, of course, a hanging rod for hanging, you know, wet clothes, for example, to drip into the washer, or clothes that need to be, you know, hang dried. Now, one thing to keep in mind, though, as far as the height of this, it is a pretty standard height, but the carpenter needs to think about how high the lid of your washer will open if you have a lid that opens up, if it's not one of those front loads. And even if you have a front load now, you may get one that's a top load later. So you want to be able to allow for that height. But then if you think about yourself and you're short like me, well, the washer is going to come out a bit, and then you still have to be able to reach it and put the hanger on the rod. But, you know, what I just say is, if I can't reach it, then I don't have to do it. My husband will just have to hang up all the clothes. Got it? All right. Okay. Man, you gotta be something to marry someone as sassy as me. Double doors, French doors. Yeah, he's smirking and laughing. Whatever, man. He's behind the camera. Here's the guest suite. Okay, so if you come over and stay with us, here's where you'll be staying. So here is the bathroom. And I think last time we went through the video, we already saw maybe the perma-based cement board that was on the wall. I do want to show you the shower pan here. You see how it's wet? They've filled it up with water to make sure it doesn't leak, because if it leaks, then it would just flood or at least drip down significantly to the first floor, cause a lot of water damage. We wouldn't want that. So we want to make sure it's not leaking. And then, of course, the tile people need to be very careful when they install all the tile that's going to be in the shower. Okay, and let's come over into the guest bedroom. Okay, in here, we also have a closet of nice little built-ins. So the guests can put all of their things. There's actually more built-ins than the guests would need, but you know what? For resale, if you have someone use this as a secondary bedroom for a kid or another adult, this is great to have, all the shelves, again, short hang, top, bottom, and long hang here, plus even a little bonus, very, very short. This isn't so much to hang because there's no wooden rod up there, but it's just to put things up there. And then, of course, you can put things even higher up on the shelves up there. Okay, I do want to talk about the rod. This is a wood rod, okay? This is a pretty standard thing, even in inexpensive homes. We decided to go ahead and go for this in our secondary closets and the laundry room to save a little money, also because they already installed it and we thought they would be metal and then they weren't. So we were like, whatever, fine, just leave it wood. And then this will be painted the white shade of white to blend in with all of the rest of the white interior. In our primary bedroom, though, they will be metal rods, which is an upgrade, but that's the primary closet. And so that's somewhere where you want to spend a little bit more money. All right, let's keep going. And these are solid core doors on the first and second floor. So they've got to feel nice and heavy. When you're opening and closing them, feel that nice weight. That means money, okay? You spent some money to buy these doors. You can see the detail here at the balcony, these end square caps on the hand railing. And then, of course, look at the view. This is what I wanted to show you when we got to this side is, again, you can see down to the foyer. You can even see into the living room, the wet bar area, the dining room, the kitchen, the breakfast beyond. I mean, you could see most of the general areas of the first floor, and of course, straight across into the other hall, the game room. You can even see into the master suite if those doors are open over there. And so, just a really nice open feel. I just love that it's just so circular. I mean, I can literally run laps on the second floor of this house. Okay, all right. So let's come into our son's wing. This is his playroom for now. This is what is planned. And he also has some nice built-ins in here to store his things. So let's check out this linen closet. Could be linens, or it could end up being, games and toys or other things. So, nice little situation going on here. There's some space that you might think is, not used because we've got shelves here, but you could put, kind of flat things, that lean up against The walls, not sure what those would be yet, but I'm sure once we go through our stuff, we'll figure it out. And then the regular closet, which again has your short hangs, two, long hang, another little bonus shelf there, plus a set of built-ins again from floor all the way, almost all the way to ceiling. And then of course you can put extra stuff at the very top. Okay, let's go through his bathroom. You got two vanities left and right, and of course, the tub and shower and the toilet in there. Not too much of a change, here from the last time we walked through of much interest, except for just, of course, the trim work around the windows and doors and baseboards and things like that. This is going to be his bedroom, so it's another bedroom. Do notice there's no crown molding. Crown molding was a thing that people really like to have over the last couple of decades. It was considered a nice upgraded feature. Less expensive homes did not have crown molding, but now we're going back to the style, especially when you have a more modern home or contemporary home where there's no crown molding, because crown molding is a little bit more traditional. So we have no crown molding in this home, and we are just fine with that. All right, his closet got some sets of built-ins as well. So built-in shelving over here. Again, a little short bonus, long hang, short hang, and then shelves on this side. We also call this 2R, 2S, as in 2 rods, 2 shelves. And this is 1R, 1S, 1 rod and 1 shelf. So that's the terminology used on the floor plans. Okay, time for the finale. We're going to go over to the primary suite. I do want to say that if you want to see the whole process of this home being built from the planning stage all the way through now, then keep scrolling back week by week and you'll be able to look for the heading, Building My Dream Home. I either have Building My Dream Home, colon, and then whatever the title is, or I might have the title and then colon, Building My Dream Home as the title of the video. So if you just look for it, you can see all sorts of things and just learn so much of the home building process, which you can apply even for the smallest remodel. I go over every detail of every aspect of the home building process, so lots to learn. Okay, welcome. Double French doors open up to the master or the primary bedroom. 13-foot ceilings, just like in the game room. And we have another set of French doors leading into our bathroom. You can see a lot of drawers sitting around in the bathroom. They're supposed to go into the closet. Ooh, I hope you can see in here. Should I grab your phone and turn the flashlight on? I didn't think about that. When the carpenter was working in here, he actually rigged up a light and hung it from the ceiling. So that way, the workers could actually see what they were working on. All right, so ta-da! This is sort of a dream closet, okay? I know there's closets that are bigger and better, but this one's pretty cool. Okay, so this is Saqib side, which, again, you have the boxes. These are pricey. Lumber is pricey. They install all this, long hangs, plus short hang up at the top. And then the carpenter has framed so that the glass company can put a mirror right here. So you have a floor length mirror, basically goes all the way down to the baseboard. And then over here, another box of more. All right, so there's going to be metal rods across, which is an upgraded feature. And one thing I want to mention is the depth of the boxes. This depth means that when the clothing is hanging here, it will stick out a little bit, okay? If you did an even deeper box, meaning it comes out more, then your clothes would not stick out beyond this. So that would even have a cleaner look. That costs more money, and I didn't think it was worth it. So we just went with this. It's going to be good enough. This is already expensive enough. Okay. I mean, who really comes into your closet but the two of you, right? So my phone is telling me that I should quickly wrap up this video because a low battery warning came on and cut me off. So here we are starting from where we left off. I was basically saying that you can make your closet this really luxurious space, and some people do that, but I sort of feel like I'd rather spend money on common areas that more people can enjoy in your family as well as visitors, because, no one's going to come into your closet unless you take them on a tour, and that's probably just a one-time thing. So it's not like you're going to spend a whole lot of time in your closet that needs to make it 100%. I think if it's 95%, that's good enough. So that's where we're at. Here are going to be built-in drawers. This is a tall chest, not a tall chest, but I'm talking about in this closet, this is the taller chest because look, it comes up to me kind of high. So it would be a little awkward for me to use this for any sort of folding or whatever. So this space right here is probably not going to be extremely useful. We'll have shelves up to the ceiling, so we'll be able to put things here. but that's all the shelves I could tolerate. Okay, if I had it my way, I wouldn't have any shelves at all. But I guess shelves are sort of useful. I could put hat boxes. I hate dust. Okay, and so the more open spaces you have where things are just sitting out, the more dust is going to collect. So my thing is, I like drawers, I like cabinets, I like when things are closed in. I don't want to see them. Okay, so that way it doesn't look cluttered. I still keep my drawers really organized and my cabinets organized, so that way when you open them up, they still look good, because it drives me crazy otherwise, because I'm OCD like that. But that's the topic of another video. But I just don't want all the clutter, because the more stuff you see out, the more cluttered it looks, even if it's very neatly, placed. Okay, so my side of the closet, all right, so yeah, look at this. Look at all these beautiful boxes that will have hanging rods, okay? Now, this may look like all long hang, but he'll actually put in adjustable, like he'll have two rods in here, so that way we can have short hang. I don't remember which one is which, but some of these boxes are 2R and 2S, and some are 1R, 1S. And then this is a really nice feature that was not in the floor plan, but that when we talked with the carpenter, we came up with this with him. That's the other thing I want to convey, is that sometimes when you talk to the carpenter, when you come on site and when you discuss it with your spouse or whomever you're building the house with, you will kind of discover things that when you're just drawing it on a 2D, with pencil and paper or on the plan, that you didn't quite see. So when we came in here, we kind of sensed the spacing and discovered that, this really could be used very nicely for another chest. So these are actually cabinets. They're a little bit difficult to open right now because there's no knobs, but okay, I'll just get one open so you can get an idea. So they'll have adjustable shelves in there. Actually, I'm not sure if these are going to be adjustable. It may just be like one shelf or two shelves. Anyway, so yeah, you can see, and these are soft close. There's 3 separate pairs of cabinet doors, so 3 cabinets, and this nice top. We will be probably putting whatever leftover quartz countertop material from the bathroom that we have on here, because this can be a folding table or a luggage unloading and packing table. So if you put luggage, like suitcases up here, and you open them up and you pack and whatever, those suitcases, the wheels and whatever parts, can quickly scratch up a painted wood surface. So having countertop material like quartz that's more durable is a better way to go, and that's what we're going to do. And this is really nice. It's really at, pretty much like kind of like waist level for me. Good height where, I can dump a pile of laundry, on one half and fold, on the other half. Either me, or if we decide to hire someone to help us with laundry again, it's becoming an overwhelming chore that's happening like every day or every other day in our house right now. So anyway, here's a blank wall space that potentially could have had a mirror, but because on my husband's side, they couldn't install another box. There's really nothing else to put there. There wouldn't be enough room because it would be too crowded. So then they just utilize that space to go ahead and put a mirror. And that works because that way you can kind of have a nice long view of yourself. If you want to stand back here, if you want to walk toward the mirror, be up close, whatever it may be, instead of here where it's like you don't really have a whole lot of space to stand back and check yourself before you leave the closet. This, we can potentially put art. We can put anything, something tall or whatever against here, but you probably don't want to put anything too ugly or cluttered looking, because I'm gonna go and turn off this flashlight. Then, you can see it from the bathroom, and that just doesn't look so good. We'll go ahead and wrap up the video in here, and you can kind of see, again, more shower pan for our master shower, and, all the stuff that's going on in here while I wrap up this video. So another thing I wanted to mention is, in your closet, it's really ideal if you have the space to have all of your clothing elements in there, not just clothing that you would wear out, but also your undergarments and socks, ties, belts, scarves, hats, so that you can put yourself together completely in your closet before you come out. Otherwise, the way we're doing it now, we're having to walk back and forth. I have to go into my closet to get clothes, but my undergarments are on my dresser, which are in the bedroom. And then I have belts in my husband's closet because I ran out of space in mine. So I've got to go through the bedroom, the bathroom, and into his closet. So it's just you're just walking around a whole lot trying to get dressed, and sometimes it's cold and you're half naked. So it's just not a good situation. So ideally you could get dressed completely in your closet, and then that just makes things much more convenient. Okay, I think I've given you more information than you can possibly use. And so I'm going to wrap up this video by thanking you for watching and asking you to please like it and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If I sound a little scratchy today and a little sniffly, it's because I'm getting over a cold, not COVID. I tested COVID negative, had a little bit of sniffles, a little bit of a cold this past week. All right, so definitely leave me a comment or send me a message if you'd rather keep it private. I'm getting a lot of people messaging me with questions and commenting with comments and things about my video series with lots of interest in particular about this new home building process. So I thank you so much for watching and hope you have a great 2023. And there will be more videos to come for at least the first half of this year and probably beyond as we continue to wrap up construction on this home, plus the design phase, furnishing, window treatments, decor, moving in, organizing. There's just so many things we can talk about. I think I could probably take you through the rest of this year. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you again on a future episode of Smarter Real Estate weekly on Wednesdays. Bye-bye.